It begins with awareness. It begins with listening. Because once you hear the patterns of your speech, you can begin to change them. Once you notice the words that drain you, you can replace them with words that heal, words that empower, words that bring life. Think about the last time you felt defeated. Was it because the situation itself was insurmountable, or was it because your mind had already spoken defeat before you even tried? The brain does not distinguish between imagined fear and actual danger. It responds to what it is told. If you whisper limitations, you feel limited. If you whisper hope, your body and mind start opening pathways toward possibility. This is not magic. This is biology. This is the reason why a single phrase repeated with conviction can shift your entire emotional landscape. And the reward of mastering your words is extraordinary. Imagine waking up each day with your mind aligned, your spirit calm, and your body ready to act because your own words are now your allies. Imagine moving through challenges with courage, knowing that the voice inside is guiding you forward, not holding you back. That is the power waiting at your fingertips. That is the life you can begin building today. The moment you choose your words deliberately, you step into authority over your own existence. You no longer react to fear. You instruct confidence. You no longer whisper doubt. You speak clarity. Every word you speak to yourself is an investment in your future, a blueprint for the life you want to live. Negative words will always try to sneak back in, but each time you catch them and replace them with words of strength, health, and hope, you are rewiring your brain. You are training your emotions, your decisions, and your actions to follow a higher instruction. Healing starts with speech. Transformation begins with confession, speaking aloud the life you are ready to receive. By the end of this video, you will not just understand the power of your words, you will feel it. You will feel the possibility that every sentence you speak can heal, strengthen, and create. And once you embrace this, nothing will ever hold you back the same way again. Every breath, every thought, every word becomes a step toward the life you were always meant to live. And it starts the moment you decide to speak life. Have you ever stopped to notice the words you whisper to yourself when no one is listening? The quiet sentences that pass through your mind as you face challenges, as you stumble, as you wonder if you're enough. Those words are shaping you far more than you realize. Every day, every hour, every fleeting thought leaves a mark on your body, your mind, and the life that unfolds around you. Science calls it self-labeling. Psychology calls it belief formation. Your inner voice is not just commentary, it is command. It trains your brain, it triggers hormones, it primes your emotions. When you speak weakness, your nervous system tightens, your confidence shrinks, and your actions follow suit. But when you speak strength, your body aligns, your posture shifts, your breathing deepens, and your mind prepares for challenge rather than avoidance. Your words are not harmless, they are signals, instructions, and the blueprint of what you become. Now imagine speaking words of health, of vitality, of unstoppable growth before there is proof. Imagine instructing your body, your mind, your entire being to align with the life you want to live. When you speak these truths daily, repetition rewires more than just your thoughts. Neural pathways strengthen, emotional resilience grows, and biological responses begin to mirror the reality you describe. Fear becomes manageable, doubt loses its grip, hope rises naturally. This is not wishful thinking. It is alignment with the truth that your body, mind, and spirit are listening intently, waiting for your instruction, waiting for your courage, waiting for the declarations that will rewrite your life. The power of your words extends beyond immediate feelings. It shapes habits, reactions, and decisions before they even happen. When you affirm your ability to handle stress, your brain prepares solutions before you consciously act. When you voice gratitude, your body releases chemicals that lower tension and improve focus. Every phrase you speak daily is either building armor or creating cracks. Every sentence is either opening doors or closing them silently and visibly, without fanfare, without anyone else noticing. The reward is enormous. The life you live will respond to the life you declare. Your confidence, energy, and emotional stability are not gifts you wait for. They are consequences of what you choose to say. This is where courage begins. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to speak truth when fear is loudest. It is the willingness to declare possibility when doubt screams. It is understanding that transformation is not about waiting for conditions to improve. It is about issuing commands for improvement into the conditions themselves. Every whispered phrase of strength, every daily declaration of your potential rewires reality quietly, powerfully, permanently. You are capable of more than you have allowed yourself to imagine, because the voice you hear most often is yours, and the moment you choose to guide it consciously, deliberately, courageously, your life begins to bend toward healing, growth, and unstoppable progress. Your words are not decoration. They are your power. They are your future. They are the key to unlocking the resilience, energy, and strength that have always been inside you, waiting to be spoken alive. This is where change begins. Not with effort, not with hope, not with circumstances, but with the sound of your own voice commanding life, commanding health, commanding victory over every limitation you once believed was permanent. Every moment you remain silent or careless is a moment your future self cannot access the life you are capable of living. Speak it daily. Speak it until your body, mind, and world respond. Speak it because your life is listening. Have you noticed how your emotions rise and fall with the words you speak? Anxiety spikes when your inner voice warns of danger. Peace grows when your words create safety. Every statement you make, even silently, is shaping your emotional reality. The truth is simple. Your words are not just reflections of your feelings, they are architects of them. Negative language primes your nervous system for threat. Positive language primes it for opportunity. You have experienced this. The subtle weight in your chest, the tension in your shoulders, the restlessness in your mind. It all traces back to the dialogue you repeat. Now imagine reversing that pattern. Imagine speaking calm, stability, and assurance into every corner of your life before circumstances change. That is not wishful thinking. That is cognitive control in action. Your speech is a lever. When applied consistently, it can lift your mood, your clarity, and your resilience no matter what challenges press against you. The words you use do more than influence your internal state. They shape your environment. People respond to language more than they respond to logic. Complaints trigger tension. Harsh words trigger defensiveness. Gratitude triggers cooperation. Kindness triggers trust. Every word you speak subtly programs the social atmosphere around you, influencing how others behave, how opportunities arise, and even how conflict resolves. This is not magic, it is proven psychology. Your voice carries energy that moves the people closest to you. You are either building walls with careless speech or creating bridges with intentional declarations. The air around you mirrors the language you use. When your words are calm, clear, and purposeful, your surroundings respond. Problems become manageable. Tension fades. Cooperation appears. Your world aligns with the tone of your declarations before your actions even catch up. This is why deliberate speech matters more than effort alone. Action follows instruction. Emotions follow words. Behaviors follow emotions. You cannot force your mind to feel ready, but you can speak readiness into it. You cannot force courage, but you can declare it over and over until your physiology, your nervous system, and your instincts adjust to match the command. Repetition is the engine of transformation. Each positive declaration rewires neural pathways, strengthens emotional resilience, and reinforces the patterns that produce confidence under pressure. The reward is profound. Stress becomes manageable, focus sharpens, clarity emerges, and you respond to life from a position of calm authority rather than reactive fear. You are building not only emotional control, but emotional momentum. And momentum compounds when sustained through daily spoken intention. Every phrase of encouragement, every affirmation of potential, every declaration of calm and hope acts like a seed. Speak it consistently, and it grows within you. Speak it intermittently, and it struggles to survive. Your emotions are not left to chance. They respond to the instructions you issue. This is where mastery begins. Not in perfect circumstances, not in fleeting motivation, but in the repeated, intentional shaping of thought, feeling, and perception through language. You are empowered to direct your internal state, influence your environment, and accelerate your progress simply by choosing the words that define your world. Speak life into yourself. Speak life into others. Speak it with conviction. Your words are creating the reality you will experience tomorrow and there is no moment more powerful than this one to begin. Have you ever realized that the words you speak today are the blueprint for the life you live tomorrow? Your mind constantly scans for signals of what to expect, and your words are the loudest signals you can give. Every declaration of limitation tells your brain to contract. Every affirmation of strength tells it to expand. The future responds not to your fear, but to your spoken expectations. Your words are commands to the nervous system, to the heart, to the body, and to your circumstances. Every phrase you repeat strengthens a neural pathway. Every sentence you whisper in your mind programs your beliefs before you even act. The question is simple: are you giving your future self instructions for growth or for retreat? Every word matters because momentum is not created by desire. It is created by repeated declarations that shape emotion, biology, and action simultaneously. When you speak purpose clearly, your brain prioritizes, your attention sharpens, and your motivation becomes automatic. You are designing a reality that matches the language you choose to use today. The way you speak about obstacles determines whether they crush you or become stepping stones. When you frame challenges as threats, the body stiffens, focus narrows, and energy disperses into resistance. When you frame challenges as training, your body engages, your mind adapts, and your resolve strengthens. Language literally rewires perception. Words act as lenses that determine the size, significance, and solvability of every problem you face. You cannot control every situation, but you can control the words you speak, the narrative you repeat, and the forecast you set for your own life. Resilience grows when speech predicts success, not failure. Confidence grows when language affirms ability rather than doubt. Determination grows when declarations insist on action rather than avoidance. This is the mechanism by which ordinary people transform into unshakable forces, the repetition of spoken belief that aligns thought, feeling, and behavior toward the outcome they desire. Every challenge you encounter becomes an opportunity the moment you speak alignment, courage, and clarity into it. Setbacks are no longer threats, they are feedback. Confusion is no longer paralysis, it is guidance. Momentum responds to decisive, consistent language. When your inner voice declares readiness, your body prepares. When it declares strength, your physiology follows. When it declares possibility, your mind begins to recognize opportunity. Words create physiological shifts in stress, immune function, and energy levels that allow you to perform at a higher level, regardless of circumstance. This is not abstract motivation. This is biological, psychological, and emotional leverage, waiting for the instruction of your spoken intention. The real power of your speech lies in consistency. A single declaration is fleeting. Repetition becomes identity. Daily spoken affirmations do not merely encourage, they ingrain, they stabilize, they shape the very pathways of thought and feeling. This is how transformation becomes inevitable. When you choose words of courage over doubt, strength over weakness, clarity over confusion, you are investing in the unseen architecture of your future. Every word becomes a brick. Every sentence becomes a foundation. Your life is listening. Speak wisely. Speak boldly. Speak relentlessly, because every word is a vote for the life you are capable of living. The life you speak today will be the reality you inhabit tomorrow. Your words do not just shape your mind. They shape the world around you. Every interaction you have, every response you give, every declaration you make carries weight. Social science proves that tone and language guide perception far more than facts alone. A gentle word diffuses tension. A harsh word escalates conflict. Complaints invite resistance. Gratitude invites collaboration. Every phrase you speak sends ripples that influence not only how others respond, but also how opportunities present themselves, how challenges are resolved, and how relationships evolve. The environment you inhabit is a mirror of the language you consistently use. Speak order, clarity, and calm, and your surroundings begin to reflect the same. Speak chaos, frustration, and fear, and your environment intensifies those very states. Your voice has power over the spaces you live in, the people you interact with, and the outcomes you experience. It is not just a reflection of your thoughts. It is a force that shapes reality itself. You hold responsibility over more than your inner state. You hold it over every connection that matters. Words are the invisible architecture of trust, influence, and cooperation. Harshness, sarcasm, and negativity erect walls. Gentle affirmation, encouragement, and honesty build bridges. Every sentence you utter either strengthens or erodes the foundations of your relationships, your career, and your personal influence. Understanding this power is liberating because it shifts focus from circumstances beyond control to language within your command. Your speech becomes a tool for transformation, both inward and outward. Each intentional declaration strengthens resilience, strengthens bonds, and aligns your world with the reality you desire. Silence in the face of negativity allows erosion. Intentional words allow reconstruction. Speak with purpose, and the environment, people, and circumstances around you begin to shift in harmony with your intentions. The same principle applies inwardly. Your self-talk is the most consistent dialogue you will ever hear. Harsh judgments keep wounds open. Compassionate, affirming speech accelerates healing, resilience, and growth. The words you whisper to yourself act as regulators of emotion, motivation, and identity. Self-compassion is not indulgence, it is discipline. Daily declarations of value, capability, and worth condition your brain to anticipate success, manage stress, and sustain focus. You are either nurturing your inner ally or empowering your inner critic. This is where transformation becomes sustainable. When your inner voice supports rather than sabotages, when it instructs rather than criticizes, when it predicts victory rather than failure. Consistent positive self-talk rewires the brain, strengthens emotional endurance, and improves decision-making under pressure. The relationship you cultivate with yourself determines your capacity to engage fully, act decisively, and persist relentlessly. Every spoken word, every internal declaration, every repeated affirmation is building infrastructure for the life you are capable of living. Words are not passive. They are active agents of change. When applied intentionally, they heal, transform, and propel you forward. The responsibility and the reward are equal. The life you want emerges from the language you consistently choose to use with yourself and the world. Speak deliberately. Speak boldly. Speak with unwavering faith in your potential, because your words are the tools that construct your destiny, your health, your influence, and your freedom. The reality you inhabit tomorrow is shaped by the language you wield today. Every word you speak toward the future carries energy. Your brain treats spoken possibilities as predictions, and your nervous system prepares to meet them. When you voice doubt, hesitation, or fear, the body braces, focus narrows, and momentum stalls. When you voice purpose, clarity, and confidence, motivation surges, attention sharpens, and your physiology aligns with action. The future is not a distant, uncontrollable force. It is a reflection of the expectations you set with your own speech. Each declaration acts as a command to your body, your mind, and your circumstances. You are constantly instructing the world to follow the map you draw with your words. The difference between stagnation and progress, between limitation and expansion, lies in the consistency, clarity, and courage of what you speak. Spoken intention precedes action, and action follows conviction. This is why decisive, repeated language has the power to turn potential into reality. Challenges become opportunities when framed through deliberate speech. Every setback, every difficulty, every obstacle responds to the instructions you give. Speak fear, and your physiology contracts. Speak opportunity, and your body prepares to respond. Speak persistence, and your nervous system adapts to endure. Your words do not simply describe your situation. They shape your ability to handle it. Confidence, resilience, and focus are consequences of spoken expectation, not just luck or circumstance. This principle transforms ordinary effort into unstoppable momentum. You do not wait for courage to arrive. You speak courage into existence. You do not wait for clarity. You declare clarity, and your mind aligns. You do not wait for opportunity. You call it forward with consistent, intentional language. Your life bends toward the words you choose to repeat. Every phrase of purpose strengthens neural pathways that govern action, decision-making, and emotional regulation. Repetition ingrains identity. Speak yourself as disciplined, capable, and unstoppable, and your brain begins to anticipate those qualities in every choice you make. Speak yourself as defeated, uncertain, or unworthy, and the brain constructs obstacles that confirm those statements. Change is not a distant goal. It is the product of the architecture you build with your words. The environment, the relationships, the habits, and the mindset that follow are all responding to the reality your speech is constructing. Daily, conscious declarations create momentum that compounds invisibly until results manifest externally. The smallest phrases, repeated consistently, accumulate into the life-altering patterns that determine destiny. Courage, clarity, and persistence are not feelings. They are declarations made aloud until the mind, body, and environment align with them. Momentum does not come from wishing. It comes from speaking, aligning, and reinforcing. You are the architect of your reality through the language you choose. Speak decisively. Speak courageously. Speak consistently, even when doubt is loud and the world seems resistant. Your words are invisible forces, silently shaping perception, physiology, and possibilities. Every declaration is a step. Every sentence is a foundation, and every phrase builds the structure for the life you are capable of inhabiting. Speak boldly, because your words are not fleeting. They are the bridge between the potential inside you and the reality outside you. Every decision you make, every action you take, is guided first by the words you choose to speak. Your mornings, your evenings, your thoughts under pressure, they are all shaped by language. Spoken intention programs your nervous system, conditions your responses, and determines the trajectory of your life. When you declare readiness, your physiology prepares for challenge. When you declare focus, distractions fade and clarity sharpens. When you declare strength, your body aligns with endurance. Action follows instruction. Results follow repetition. Your words are not empty. They are commands to your own biology, a signal to your environment, and the seed of the reality you will inhabit. Every phrase you repeat daily builds